The festival kicks off with an original children's fantasy drama by schoolteacher Julian Felice. This is the first of two offerings by the Bayside and Westside Drama Group, which focuses on a young boy suffering from Angelman syndrome. In his imagination, he's also a superhero.
Well, I was actually approached by a family member of a boy who suffers from the same condition, and he was quite interested in bringing the story to the stage. And at first, I had to give it a lot of thought, and then gradually the idea grew on me, and I really liked the fact that we were able to combine this kind of fantasy world with the real world, and we're just now looking forward to putting it on.
The story of the amazing Angelman has challenged the large cast.
We've got some of the main roles being played by some of our older actors, but also some of our younger actors as well, playing some very challenging roles. And everything, everyone's involved in telling the whole story together. We've got a big ensemble who play a very crucial role in bringing it all to life.
Since I play a person with disability, obviously, although they may not be able to express it and talk, they still have thoughts, and they still think, even if they don't think the same as us, they still feel and maybe wonder things, and maybe even imagine having imaginary worlds where they're superheroes and stuff like that. So yeah.
These characters go into a lot of depth, so we have to be careful in the way that we portray these characters. So we have to
be very sensitive.
Yeah, in our approach to the way that we think that we act these characters.
It's been directed as well, one or two changes, because it may have been insensitive, or just Sir thought that we can do it much better, portray these characters in a much more realistic light, because they're not horrible people, but we do go through horrible emotions sometimes in the play.
Rock Theatre returns too this year, with Angela Jenkins directing The Waxen Man, a melodrama with a captivating start and some interesting thrills too.
It's a fascinating little piece, and what I particularly like about it is it stretches so many people. It's a very different genre to do melodrama. You have to do it in a particular way. You have to try to be sincere in what you do. And it's great stuff, and I'm stretching people. They're doing stuff they've never done before, and I'm making them do all sorts of things that they're very uncomfortable with, but they're great.
The group has also worked on the set, with the festival's requirements imposing certain limitations.
I think Trafalgar Theatre and Steve Lawson, who's been brilliant building things and far too big, and he had to sort of cut it down to fit through the doors and this sort of thing. We're stymied, of course, because being a drama festival, you've only got 10 minutes to get in. There's no space to keep anything, so we've got to suggest things rather than have full stuff. But we've got a full working door, which is vital, which we have to have because of the fire.
The Trafalgar Theatre Group's Lemons, 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 Lemons is the last play of the night. Featuring two actors, it looks at how a couple communicate, with ideas of censorship, oppression and free speech also explored.
It's probably one of the strangest titles that we've had for a play that I've put on. The play itself is actually about the government imposing a restriction on the population, and they can only speak 140 words per minute. So the title does appear in the play, but the title doesn't really give anything about what the play's about. Whilst looking for plays at the festival, I normally read quite a few, and this one really just grabbed my attention when I read it. It's a nice two-hander, a lot for two people to do on stage throughout an hour, and the themes it presents are very current, topical themes that we're all thinking about nowadays. Freedom of speech, how we communicate with each other, how there's been a breakdown of communication within society due to social media and the like, and also there's a referendum within the play itself on how many characters the people can actually speak in the day. So we've just had a very, very big referendum, and it's obviously very topical for those reasons.
The Ince Hall will play host to 6 days of drama next week. Curtains up on Monday at 7 p.m.